Hi everybody, I wanted to follow up from the video on Friday concerning the capital assessments, and I want to focus right now on capital assessment number 2 and the list of items that are on that list. If you look at the Exhibit A and you go to capital assessment number 2, the first 7 items: dining room, sandbar, private dining, club room, conference room, community room, and staff offices, all are acoustic upgrades. So obviously it does cause for construction. They would put in these acoustic panels to help with the reverberation in those areas, and those numbers that you see there are all related to acoustic upgrades. The tiki bar ceiling acoustics, I gotta apologize, I probably didn't label that correctly. The tiki bar ceiling was always, in the original design, supposed to be a wood plank ceiling as part of a coastal feel. And it did get taken out of the project due to all the budget issues that we had. So the original design team that was working on this project would like to get it installed. I put acoustics next to it because the conversation went, okay, hey, if we decide to put that ceiling in, that ceiling should have acoustic elements to it. So that tiki bar, I just wanted to try to clarify that. So when you look at the tiki bar acoustics, it is basically turning that ceiling into a wood ceiling, which was originally part of the design. The next item, automatic doors, that's for the main entrance to the club room as you're coming to the club. We do have, those are heavy doors, and we'd like to get automatic doors put on that set of doors, as well on another set of double doors out by the sandbar area. So that's what the automatic door item is. Purchase TVs for glare protection at the tiki bar. The folks that sit at the tiki bar are complaining that there's glare. As you try to watch the TV, it's hard to see the game. So that is put in there to try to replace those TVs to a Sunbright TV that will reduce the glare on as you're watching ball games down there. The next item is handicap ramp tile at the front entrance. If you walk up the handicap ramp at the front entrance of the club, you will see that the tile ends about 3/4 of the way down, and then there's pavers that extend from there to finish off that area. Folks have recognized that and have asked us to continue the tile all the way through, and that's why that item is on the list. The next item is saunas. If you've not seen the saunas in the locker room, they are single-person saunas for the most part. They're glass. They people aren't comfortable using them because it kind of makes you look like you're on display when you're in there. We do have a team of volunteers here, residents who live here at the Dunes, one of them has a relationship with a sauna company, and they've provided us a very good competitive price on replacing our saunas. The current ones, you can only really sit one person in. These new saunas would provide a little more privacy, as well as give you the ability to sit 3 to 5 people in them, depending on your size. So that's the sauna item. The next item is camouflage west side utilities. That's on if you're at building 1 and you're looking at our building, all of our utilities are on that wall. That there's yellow pipes for the gas lines. There's water heaters associated with that. There's power, electric is on that wall. You certainly see it if you're on that side of the building. And originally there was an original design to have a Bahama wall, which is very similar to the aluminum wall that you see protecting the generator. It would match, and it does rise about 18 to 20 feet up in the air. It is hurricane rated. It does get attached to the building as well as in the ground, and it would cover all those utilities on that side of the building. That's what that item is. Tennis court upgrades. We've been talking about doing a little more of that AstroTurf area around a couple of locations at the tennis court. One of those locations is between courts 4 and 5, where we would have to remove some landscape to do this. The idea is to put the AstroTurf in and then provide tables and chairs, which we have. We have the tables and chairs with umbrellas, so there'll be a little sitting area after folks play tennis, or if somebody just wants to sit there and enjoy the tennis. The other location is at Court 6 between Seagrove and Court 6. There's an area there we'd like to do the same. In reviewing this with a lot of the member associations, I think that might change a little bit at the meeting tomorrow, and we still want to do a little bit, but maybe not as much as you see here on this item. So there'll be some healthy debate on that tomorrow at the meeting. Front entry stone veneer on the columns. If you looked at your package that we sent out to the community back in 2017, they showed the front of the building. You did see the stone on the columns come up about 4 or 5 feet. And once again, that was something that was taken out of the project. Folks that were close to the project and others would like to see that come back to provide a little more richness to the entry of the facility. Others, there's a debate, and you'll hear a debate on that tomorrow, and we'll see where that lands, but that's what that item is. Lake fountain. Lake fountain is really the lake between the club and Seagrove. Years ago, Seagrove, we were going to put a lake fountain. It was always planned in the original project here at the Dunes when the developer built this place. Back in 2010, 2011, the community actually was going to go ahead and put that fountain in, and the residents at Seagrove weren't thrilled about it, so we did not do it at that time. It seems like there's much more interest to have that fountain put back in the lake, so you'll see some debate on that tomorrow at the meeting. And this number that's in there is for 2 fountains that would be similar to the 2 fountains we have at the front entrance. And obviously it can be reduced to 1 if we can make that work, but that's what that item is. And I have reached out to the Seagrove group to see what their feelings are about that. And a lot of the member associations really want to hear from Seagrove to make sure they would indeed want a fountain out in that lake. So that's what that item's about. Bar stool chairs. There's been complaints about the bar stools at the sandbar as well as the chairs on the outdoor deck. People are asking for cushions so they can sit on the chairs. We've had requests to look at replacing those because people are unhappy. On the other side, we got people that say they're perfectly fine, buy a bunch of cushions, and we can live with those bar stools. So that's going to be a healthy debate as well tomorrow, and we'll certainly see where that lands on this list. Accessories, artwork, and furniture. There's a lot of sterile areas in the club. If you walk through the club, there is some artwork, some empty walls. Let's leave it at that, and some empty hallways and corridors. That item is put in there to address those issues. Once again, I think you'll find some healthy debate tomorrow at the meeting on that item as well. So that's the capital assessment number 2. That's the first list of items. On page 2 of Exhibit A, there's also an additional items to consider for capital assessment number 2. It says replace pool deck tiles. We've had a lot of folks unhappy with the pool deck. It's too hot. It gets hot, and sometimes it's hard to stand on that pool deck. We did test it as 115 degrees back in June and August when we went out there. If you take your shoes off and you stand on the tile, about 8 to 10 seconds you want to lift your feet. So it is hot. Somebody asked, what was the old pool deck? Well, the old pool deck was the same temp. We have those paver tiles out front. We tested those, and they indeed were at 115 degrees as well. They wobble. There's areas where there's some wobbling on the tiles that we are continually chasing to repair those, and there's been some cracking that we've had to replace. So what's the magnitude of all that? We're able to handle it at this point, but there is some displeasure with that pool deck, and I think you'll hear some healthy debate tomorrow on that item as well. Roof louvers to hide the ACs kind of speaks for itself. If you're in the high rises, buildings 1, 2, and 3, and you look down on the club, you see the AC systems and everything on the roof. So you'll hear some debate on that as well. And then the stormwater gutters. There are no stormwater gutters on this building. to put stormwater gutters, install those gutters, we would have to pull up a significant amount of the pool deck tiles to tie in the storm gutters to the drain system, which is underneath the pool deck now. So, the pool deck tiles and the stormwater gutters would kind of, both be considered at the same time if it was ever considered. So I hope that explains those items as much as possible now. Obviously, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the POA board's going to hear from all of its POA reps on these items. Once again, these do not get approved tomorrow, but what does get approved is a list that they can agree on to send to the member associations here at the Dunes for them to vote on at a later date. I hope this helps. Thanks so much. Hi everyone, want to give you a quick COVID update here at the Dunes. Over the weekend on Sunday, we did get 2 new cases of COVID reported to management. One of those is in building 3, the other one is in building 7. So wanted to make you everybody aware of that. I did spend yesterday trying to capture all the data we could from a contact tracing perspective, working with the health department. In the building 3, the health department has been in contact with those folks. They'll be in isolation until roughly the 23rd. In building 7, there is no action to be taken based on the discussions with the person who has COVID as well as the health department. So we did post in each of those buildings yesterday a notification to all the residents there in the elevators that there was a resident with COVID in their building, and to remind everybody that these are very important. Masks are very important in our elevators and our common areas at this time. Obviously there is an uptick in COVID cases, so wearing masks in our elevators and in the common areas is strongly suggested by management as well as all of your member association boards. In reference to the Building 7 person who has COVID, they did play tennis here last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday. Those folks were not deemed to be in any issues as far as the health department is concerned. So we did notify the tennis facility and the person affected did contact a number of folks and let them know of her situation. So for all of you out there, there is no issues at all from COVID related thing here at the Dunes. No impact on the club, no impact on our fitness center, no impact on the tennis area. So just wanted to give you that quick update. All of the folks, I was able to speak to everybody in Building 1. The individual in Building 1 did feel some mild symptoms and is doing well. They'll be coming off of isolation here in the next couple of days. In Building 3, that person has once again had mild symptoms initially, but has since subsided. But like I said, they'll be in isolation until November 23rd. We had a case in Building 4 who's come off isolation at this point, so and they're doing well. Building 7, person no symptoms at all, asymptomatic, and they will be isolated based on the health department's orders. It's 10 days from the time of testing, so that would have been Friday of this past week. So I hope that gets everybody caught up. I know there was some folks are a little concerned because there was a delay in reporting the cases from Sunday, but I do reach out to the health department. We make sure that we get all the information we can before we report, and make sure that anybody who needs immediate contact, we try to reach out to them right away, and obviously notify the buildings as quickly as possible. Take care, be safe, wear masks. Thanks so much.